Hello, everybody. First of all, I remember how emotional I was near the end of my last video, and I'm a little more level-headed for this one because the topic I want to address is, I think, is particularly important. First of all, when you get a overwhelming urge to do something that seems obsessive, and when you feel like not achieving that thing is like like a sense of defeat that you're being deprived of control unless you do this thing, whether it's winning an argument or going after some bully, whatever. Question is the thought of being deprived of what you want to attain really what's getting to you, or is the thought that you need to achieve this thing the real invasion in your mind? Like I was just the reason I brought this up is just a couple days ago I was rewatching the movie A Time to Kill, and made me think about how a lot of the prejudices in the world, where they actually come from. I mean, all that when you feel hate for someone who is different, whether it's their color, their gender, their sexual orientation, or whatever. Like, obvious question: is that hatred really your own, or is it being conditioned and through your fear to simply think for yourself, or just to look beyond, to see the value in someone who's different from you? It's like, yeah, a lot of videos are coming out about this now, about how we are the Muslim, that we have to recognize that we are not our thoughts, and in that sense, not responsible for our thoughts. But what we are responsible for is how we act on those thoughts. Like sometimes you really gotta. I remember David Icke making this point when I first got to understand his wisdom a bit. That if a thought comes in or something or some image or memory, just take a moment to ask yourself, why did this come into your mind? There's a reason for it, yes. You have to interpret that reason for yourself, yes, but does that automatically mean being vengeful? If it's a thought, someone hurting someone else that makes you angry, or is a thought that maybe you should try to avoid making the same mistake that you saw that other person do to that other person? Like, yes, I mean, everything is questionable. Everything in life is questionable because that's what gives us the freedom to think in the first place, as opposed to everything being spoon fed to you. Yeah, like the sense of deprivation speaks for itself. So, I think with all that the media is bombarding us with, and how a lot of stuff is being coming to the surface and making us question, like, how much of a threshold do we really have on reality, true news or fake news, right or wrong. I mean, a lot of things that I grew up with that I really enjoyed and still enjoy to some extent. I'm looking at a lot differently. I know I had mentioned that before, but as a kid, when you're most vulnerable to impression, and I know I was never alone on this. I was never a saint in school. I made no secret of that, and a lot of the times I had to look back and ask myself, why did I do that? Why did I say that? Why did I get this reaction out of him, her, or everyone, whatever? I mean, every child goes through that. I mean, so I think now, being 50 years old, where I'm mature enough to really look back on quite a lot of stuff cropping up for me, and asking, were those really my thoughts? Were those really their thoughts? We're all in the same boat. We're all being affected. So whether it's victim the victim mentality or the bullying mentality, it's gotta. I mean, I'm really coming to terms with why all this stuff is cropping up for us. We're seeing in a lot of YouTube videos. A lot of stuff is cropping up for us. Yes, so I think best thing we can do is just take a good look at it and ask ourselves, what's the reason for this? The answer may be your own, but not being our thoughts does not mean thinking irresponsibly. Not being responsible for our thoughts doesn't mean thinking irresponsibly. We are responsible for what we do with our thoughts when they come into our heads. Like, you see a loaded gun on the ground. Do you pick it up, keep it for yourself, for your own, or do you report it to the police? The latter is the right thing to do. The right thing to do when something comes up is to ask yourself, am I going to just jump at the temptation, whatever? Is that really who I am? Or am I just going to think for myself and not worry about whether anyone else puts me down for it? Right. Question everything. Your thoughts, your memories, whatever makes you feel guilty. Question everything. Like just out of all the divine freedoms that God has given us, that's one of the best ones you can ask for. So, and this is especially for people who struggle with anxiety and false memory syndrome and suicidal depression, as I have over the years. Yes, the most dignified and the most healthiest thing you can do is to stop, take a look at that thought, that strange thought, that overwhelming urge or intrusive memory that comes in your mind, whatever, and just take a look at it and see it for what it is, and ask yourself, why is this here right now? What am I supposed to do with it? Ask your higher self for guidance. I'm still learning that, but I'm getting good at it. And just never be afraid to question things. The universe, the multiverse will always be more questions than answers. That's what keeps life, infinity, eternity, and the adventure going. Never be afraid to question things. That's what makes you truly knowledgeable. Not having all the answers, but daring to question. Even something that seems like a solid fact. So I hope this has been very helpful to you. And I know the heat waves for the summer are getting to all of us, especially with all the nature coming down on the environment now. But because of the lockdown, I know we're really feeling the forces of nature more profoundly now. So anyway, let's all do our best to try and navigate through 2020 and towards 2021. And thank you all my subscribers and all the people all your comments on my videos. And see you again next time. Namaste.